A scene from The Watchmen on HBO, a very popular TV show that has had its run. It's based, actually, or inspired by the Tulsa Riots, which occurred 99 years ago. Today's the 99th anniversary of the Tulsa Riots, considered one of the most heinous things to happen to African Americans in this country. Cost 300 African Americans their lives. 10,000 were left homeless. And something's changing now. The city of Tulsa is going to start teaching this to students in schools and is going to undertake an investigation, an excavation of something that may be a mass grave to find out a little more about who the people are who have been lost and maybe give them the burial that they need. I'm joined right now by Mayor G.T. Bynum of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mayor Bynum, you know, we had scheduled this conversation long before this happened in Minneapolis, but it certainly brings up old wounds for African Americans who feel like the treatment at the hands of white Americans has not been great. Tell me, in the current context that we have, how important this project is to mark the 99th anniversary of the Tulsa Riots.
Well, I think what we're doing in Tulsa on this front relative to the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre is very relevant to what you see happening all around the country right now. And that's because for 80 years after this event occurred, there was a systematic cover-up of the event. It was not taught in schools. The newspapers that reported on it were removed from our libraries. You had generations grow up in our community who didn't even hear about it until the late 90s and early 2000s. And when you have that kind of trauma occur and that kind of hurt and death, and then you have the African Americans in Tulsa told, we're never going to bring to justice the people who did this to your community, and you need to just get on with it and move on, and we're not going to talk about this anymore. That does not lead to healing for a community. And I think what you see in cities around our country right now is that there's tremendous pain in our country that has built up over decades. This didn't just start this week. This has been building up for decades. And the lack of willingness for leaders to openly talk about this and try and address those societal issues that spring from it, I think it has caused a lot of folks in our country to just decide we've got to elevate this discussion and raise awareness around it, and they're doing so very successfully.
Mayor, it's a sophisticated way to look at it, because what a lot of people say, whether we're talking about slavery or Jim Crow or civil rights or the Tulsa Massacre, is that I didn't do this. This wasn't me. Why are we dredging up all these old wounds? You haven't actually had universal support for this initiative in Tulsa, but the view that you're talking about, elevating the discussion, learning from our past so we don't make the same mistakes in the future. How do you convince those people in Tulsa who don't think this is a useful exercise, a useful expenditure of their taxpayer dollars, and a useful dredging up of old wounds?
Sure, and that's, I think, the arguments you just put there are one of the reasons that for 98 years, no one in our community did the right thing on this. And it's taken that long to begin the process for the missing graves from the race massacre in our community. The way that I try to put it with people is to imagine yourself at home on a summer evening, and law enforcement comes to your door and says, there's a riot going on, you have to come with me right now. And they take you to this local sports arena and they lock you in there for 3 days. And when you come out after 3 days, your entire neighborhood is burned to the ground and people that you know and love have just disappeared. And the answer, and what you're told after that happens, is, hey, you need to move on from this, and we are not going to talk about this anymore. And then we wonder why we have challenges with race, both here in Tulsa and in our country. The whole notion of you just need to move on and is, I think, disrespect for the great hurt and death that African Americans locally in Tulsa and in our country have faced. And so it is incumbent on all of us to pursue the truth. And regardless of where it leads, that's what we're trying to do in Tulsa right now with this grave search. I just wish that somebody would have done this 98 years ago, rather than us having to take it up at this point. It should have been done so long ago.
It is incumbent upon all of us to pursue the truth, no matter where it leads. Mayor, thank you for doing what you are doing. We appreciate that. Mayor G.T. Bynum of Tulsa, Oklahoma, marking the 99th anniversary of the Tulsa race massacre. Thank you, sir. Police